Hello, art warriors, and welcome to this episode of Creative Journaling. And this time, I am doing a devotional journal. For you to know what is devotional journal, it is when you devote yourself in reading God's words and you write down those specific verses that spoke to you. You also write down those reflections from the verses that you have read. But for me, I want my journal to be more creative, to be more artistic in the cheapest way possible. So let's begin with the materials that I have used. Scissors for printables, and if you don't have a scissor, then why don't you have a scissor? And this, I prefer you use glue sticks instead of white glue, because if you use white glue, it would take time to stick. Pens, of course. I am very specific with the quality of the pens that I have been using, not by the brand name or how much it costs for you. And these pens that I've been using cost only 21 pesos, 29 pesos. You might want to know about the line weights. So I use 0.38 tip for writing down notes. And if I wanted to highlight a word, I use 0.5. So if you don't have yet those prints design, you can also use color pencils for your doodles. For this journal, I use Crayola Super Tips, and I am so much fond of using Pilot Friction highlighter because you can also erase your highlights, and it is very nice to highlight the verses from your Bible. The notebook that I have been using right now is the dotted version of Limelight. And if you wanted to be more creative, if you wanted to use watercolor, I recommend you to use the Limelight sketchbook. But this cost me 209 pesos. But it's worth it for the entire year for me. So if you want your journal to be more organized, I arranged my writings by column so that it would be easier for me to make a borderline on each paragraphs. I don't like to waste even the small spaces from my journal, so I use these parts for my to-do list or my word of the day. It is also very creative when you choose a theme for each month. For example, for the month of June, I am using a purple because for me it's like partly sunny, partly rainy. And the clip arts that I use to print are so much big about what I've been doing lately. For example, reading books, gardening, and online stuffs. If you don't have yet a dotted journal notebook, I recommend you to start with the ruled notebook. And if you have a sketch notebook this time, make sure that you organized or you placed stickers for your borders and draw some lines. So if you really want to spend for your journal, you can maybe try these recommendations or one of my favorites.